If you were like me, you were waiting for this game for quite a while. Well, ever since they announced it back in April of 2015! 5 years of waiting, the anticipation, the secrets on the website, the promotion of liking things and following on Twitter just to get snippets of the game here and there. What a way to get everything hyped! And only for everyone to wait 5 years for a game set just a few hours after the previous remake. Oddworld, new and tasty. Now we get the continuation and retelling of Oddworld's Exodus with Oddworld SoulStorm. But was it worth the wait? Hello.
Hello.
Follow me.
Follow me.
It took me a year to get close to how Abe sounds, and you know what? It's not that bad. I mean, I'm even in costume. I got the backpack, and I got the hair. Okay, not really much of the hair. I don't have long hair naturally. You know, it goes more into a mushroom cloud, but I gotta do what I gotta do to make it work. So this is as good as it gets. Let's go.
Find yourself and see. It's the only way you will know who we really are.
SoulStorm is the continuation of the Mudokons and Abe's escape from Rupture Farms, just set a couple of hours from the initial escape. We're in a safe haven where Abe and the rest reside. Speaking of peace to a shaman that knows Abe's journey is not yet done, Abe is trying to reject the call to rescue the others, but just can't seem to get away as the haven is found and the raid begins. What a way to start out! I mean, I don't really feel the campy, kind of sarcastic tones that these games are usually known for. And well, that's because instead of being an all-out remake like New and Tasty, this is a retelling in more of a darker tone. They keep some things from Exodus, but don't hold on to that feeling, otherwise you might just miss out. So the first thing that I noticed about this game were actually the cutscenes. My god, they're so good! Abe looks so alive with the way his eyes dilate and expand, the way he moves while speaking. You can just see the expressions greatly on his face. It's almost like watching a movie in theaters with the cinematography and the high quality renders that these cutscenes provide. Comparing the one before it, this just blows the other one out of the park. But then again, I didn't really have a problem with the New and Tasty style. Now, as you may know, I might compare a lot to New and Tasty, and there's a reason for that. I was always so used to how Oddworld's gameplay felt all the way from the PS1 to the remake, and if you're expecting SoulStorm to play almost the exact same way, then this will take some time to getting used to. This doesn't mean that the gameplay is bad. No. It just means that you have to get used to how Abe feels to control. He has more agility than what I'm used to. There's more control in the air, and now he has the ability to double jump. Now when it comes to these changes, you can end up screwing up. Not by your faults, but majority of the time the game's fault. When you jump to a ledge or monkey bars, I'll call them, you expect Abe to grab on, right? Wrong! Sometimes Abe will just totally ignore it, and this can make the extra long jumps a little bit of a hassle. But it did take me a while, and I finally figured it out and got a feel for those parts. Anyway, that extra bit of weight loss kind of took me a good while to get used to. Not only has his moves changed, but what he's able to do is change too. Abe can now scavenge for items in trash bins and lockers that are placed around the level so he can combine them and make tools that will help him along the way. And you carry all of this in his new backpack. Introducing the new backpack. Have fun carrying too much stuff you're not able to hold in your hands. What can you hide in there? How about some delicious scrap cakes, maybe a paramite pie or two, and make sure you clean it out every once in a while, otherwise say goodbye to the head inside. That's not supposed to be there. Some combinations make devastating weapons, such as an exploding soda can or sticky bomb, and others make less harmful ones, such as a shaking Coke or a jawbreaker with tape on it. But other combinations makes a freaking flamethrower. with scavenging, you're also collecting. You can collect these things called royal jellies that are hidden throughout the world of Oddworld. These are for Abe's health, letting him take a little bit of more damage than his usual one-hit deaths. They're not really important, so you could honestly skip them unless if you're trying to 100% the game. Along with these jellies are also sometimes Mudokons. They can be along your path or in hidden areas throughout the levels. My problem with this though is that the areas aren't really that hidden. I mean, in New and Tasty, the hidden levels were actually quite hidden, and you had to sometimes go out of your way to find them. I mean, take a look at this first level and try to find the secret area. You already missed the secret, didn't you? Look, I'll play this part again. Just try to find it. Got it? Of course not, because the entrance is right there, right behind the barrel, and first-time players are never gonna know that unless you're pressing square on that spot. In SoulStorm, they're more of an afterthought. Sometimes they're just in decent places, and others, they're right there. Now, I've seen that this game has had a pretty rough patch, especially in the beginning with the bugs and weird crashes at the end of the game. And I got this game just 4 days after its release, and I didn't run into a lot of bugs on my end. Maybe they patched it, maybe they didn't. I honestly don't know on that part. And, well, not any game-breaking ones, at least from what I can remember, really broke my game. Actually, some of the bugs were funnier than others. Like sometimes while navigating the now 2.5D world of Oddworld, if you jump where there's a switch from the background to foreground, or vice versa, sometimes Abe will just fall through the world. Or he'll fall into the earlier part of the level. Another bug was the AI. Not so much them following or getting stuck somewhere, but more on the aspect of them not having awareness. So, there are these really cool parts of the game where you have to defend around 200 Mudokons climbing up to safety, and during this jailbreak, slugs come and try to shoot them down, and you're supposed to defend them with the help of your buddies. So, you plant your buddies, equip them with some stuff that you're carrying, such as the knockout can that you have, and you have them go to work. But if you don't place them in a certain area or have them turned a certain way, they will get blasted in the back or stare at the end of the barrel. These defend type minigames, I'll call them, are actually really quite fun and interesting to me. Watching all your buds climb up and you have to defend them with everything you got, but when you place your guys where you know you should place them and they don't do anything but get themselves killed, it'll test your patience. It was funny because I would run tests where I would place one guy to make sure he'd turn around. Then, after finishing that, I'd place another. But the first guy that I placed would stop working, and then when I placed the other guy, he would stop working. So it's just an endless barrage of testing and trying to figure out how it'd work. Now, these parts could take a little while, especially if you're trying to save as many Mudokons as you can, which there are around 200 to protect at one time. And later in the levels, there are now 9 levels, 9 stories that you have to get them through. They have to climb up, so you're constantly planning and positioning. But there's at least a pause between each level for you to catch your breath and maybe even restock. Alright, so I've already told you about the gameplay. Now let me tell you about the story. So again, SoulStorm's story has gone to a darker route. No more are there cynical jokes of Oddworld that they used to have, or really the smart aleck back-talking that you get.
It's 'cause of you we're in this mess.
This bites!
Can I go home?
Letting you know that even through the dark times, you can still backtalk or even let out an occasional fart joke just to raise some spirits. There's no more of that.
I'm so sorry. I can't save you.
Now, it's a dark tone with an occasional joke here and there.
And what the keeper said we need
You
to...
found the keeper?
I did.
Was she hot?
which actually makes me wish that they kept that old feeling, because there's a joke in there that got a good chuckle out of me, and it felt like a glimpse into the old writing, making me miss that type of writing. Now, I'm not the best at simplifying a story or giving a quick rundown because I mainly focus on gameplay. That doesn't mean I can't like a good story or hate a bad one, and here, to me, I thought it was a pretty good story with the tone that they aimed for. The only gripe I really had with it is that the most important / shocking details in the older games are played way down.
This is Necrom. Long ago, the Budakans brought their dead here. That was before the Gluckans started stealing our bones.
Spoilers. The brew is made out of bones of Abe's ancestors that are being dug up, and that is just passed by in a small mention. There was also a part that I was a little disappointed in. So Abe finds a person named the Keeper, and she puts him through a trial. It's not that it wasn't fun or anything like that, but this is where they introduce fleeches. Well, here they more look like the things in Munch's Odyssey or Stranger's Wrath and don't really feel that dangerous. I mean, as long as you have flares and flashlight, you're all good. All you gotta do is just watch out for the traps. Let me show you the introduction to these things in this game compared to the original. In the original, they felt like twisted creatures, and knowing that they were coming after you just really made you fear them. I mean, just watch this death animation compared to the now death animation. This level felt like more traps and instant death, which is what I'm fine with, but not having the things to really make you want to get out sooner is a big opportunity missed. I wanted to leave that level in Exodus, and here I felt like I could maybe take my time a little bit more. So that's why I had a problem with this part. It's alright. I do like the traps and everything, but it was alright. They do have a little Easter egg that I really enjoyed that I thought was a nice callback. Look at it. I think it's cool. Anyway, the gameplay isn't so bad. It's a few bugs here and there, but the main parts are the defending minigames because the AI and the falling through the world. It does take a little while getting used to the feeling of the gameplay, especially if you're used to the older, tighter controls, I'll say, especially in the remake of New and Tasty. It's gonna throw you off. I almost think that they could have used just the same game code from the remake, updated the graphics, gave Abe a double jump, keep the scavenging, and I think you would have an amazing 10 out of 10 game, even with the story. But that's not how this is. This doesn't mean that the game isn't fun. In fact, I think whoever likes the old Oddworld might enjoy this one for what it is. And newcomers will probably not get into it as much as I did. But if you have a PS5, you can just download it for free. Side note, Oddworld's Inhabitants, I believe, is a really good game creator, franchise, company, whatever you want to call them, because they're always doing cool stuff like this a little bit, you know? When New and Tasty was coming out, they held a promotion to where you could have been in the game. You could have been one of the Mudokons that you save as Abe. That was amazing. All you just had to do was just send in your voice saying a few lines, I think a few death grunts and stuff like that, and you could have possibly been inside the game. I wanted to do that. I missed the opportunity though, because at that time I had a Rock Band microphone and the audio was pretty bad. I couldn't clean it up as much as the microphone I have now. But damn, they're cool. I love them. I love them. It's now time to rate the game. For old people, older people, who's been with this franchise for the longest time, the trilogy, and who knows, you know, Oddworld, I would say it's a 7 out of 10. Strong 6, borderline 7. For newcomers to the game and who doesn't know anything about anything, I'd say 5 out of 10. All in all, I can say older fans, you guys should possibly, you know, if you want to help out and stuff like that, buy the game. Give it a chance. You might like it. I enjoyed it and everything. Newcomers, you should probably miss it a little bit, but instead of missing that one, perhaps go to the older titles. I've been talking about New and Tasty. It's a really great remake, really great game, really fun story and everything. I think you guys should do it and decide if you want to buy SoulStorm after that. Otherwise, that's it. I know that the next game will be good because this is a new direction that they're taking, right? So the next game, they have to know what they're doing by the next game. This one, it felt like a test run. Understandable, I got it. At least they still put some heart into it, and that's the part that I like about it. So I have no doubt it will be fun the next game. Anyways, thank you. That's all my time. Thank you for watching. If you have something to say about the game, whether you liked it or not, or I felt like I missed some stuff, go ahead and comment, like, subscribe if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, if you just like it, you know, have fun. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a good time. Love you.